What's up everyone, Mule Kick Media here, and today we are going to be doing my review for Arrow Season 2. Now of course, I did my review for Season 1. If you did miss that video, then don't worry, there will be a link in the description, so you can go ahead and watch that video if you're heading into Season 2 and you haven't seen it, because I would definitely recommend you watch it, because, what can I say, it's just an awesome show. And Season 2 really stepped it up a notch completely, because Season 1 was a really good season. It really was a massive surprise to me. I did not expect Season 1 to be as good as it was, but Season 2 was even better. Like, honestly, it was just such a big improvement. It improved, in my opinion, on almost, or in fact, maybe everything that I liked about Season 1, and even fixed a few of the problems that I did have with Season 1 of Arrow, and it was just an amazing second season. It does what a second season should do, which is fix all the problems of the first and improve what was already good about it. And I feel like Season 2 really did that. I mean, we've got a new villain. I mean, we've got a new moral conduct for Oliver Queen, and just it was awesome to go back to this. And it was just an amazing second season, and probably one of the best seasons on TV that I've watched that's obviously come out recently, because it was just such an amazing season to watch. It was just so good. So let's just get into the story synopsis like I do for all my TV reviews. Don't worry, like my Season 1, this will be a spoiler-free, so I won't ruin any spoilers for Season 2. I'll probably dig into the more spoiler territory for maybe Season 3 and Season 4, but that's only because I really feel like with those seasons, I do have to talk about the spoilers, because they play such a big part on that season. So Season 2 picks up a year after the events of Season 1. Oliver Queen has put himself back on the island that he was trapped on for 5 years, as kind of a punishment for letting the Glades be destroyed in the end of the Season 1 finale. Despite the fact that he killed Malcolm Merlyn, like 500 people died, so he ends up putting himself in purgatory until Felicity and Diggle find him and convince him to come back to Starling City. And he returns, but he tries to change up his act completely, but he does this by introducing the no-killing rule, which he has in the comics, and he also tries to work with the cops more, and in particular Detective Lance, who he really does form a strong partnership with this season. And then you have this mysterious character called Sebastian Blood, who is running for mayor, and although everyone thinks he's this really, kind and really inspirational person, there seems to be this dark side about him, and he plays one of the villains. I can't remember what his name is as like the villain, but he basically uses this drug called this super enhancing drug that allows its user to get more strength and become more intelligent, but as a result it does also mean that sometimes that they can do, how do I put it, basically become mentally retarded for some time if they're overexposed to it, and he's using that on patients to try and build an army, and Green Arrow has to try and stop him, while there's another threat from his past who tries to get revenge on him, and I won't spoil who that is. Although, really, do you know what? 180. Let's just tell you who it is. It's Deathstroke. So, from the Season 1 flashbacks, Deathstroke was kind of like the protagonist / mentor for Oliver on the island. He was the guy who taught him how to fight, how to survive. And in Season 2, he becomes the main antagonist. And it was just awesome to see, that those flashbacks from Season 1 really give us a bigger picture for what happens in Season 2, because Season 1 and 2 really do feel like they're intertwined. Like, if you watch Season 1, you have to watch Season 2, because it really does feel like a continuation of that story. So overall, the storyline for Season 2 was really, really good. I really liked the story. It was even better than the first season, just because of how it was able to link back to so many of the things that happened in that first season, but also make it really good and make sense as well. The story was a lot more complex. I liked the characters were a lot more ambiguous this time around, doing a lot more questionable things. And the best one is the Green Arrow trying to not kill after, so long of having no restrictions on him whatsoever, like him killing if he'd felt like it. But whereas with now, he has to restrict himself from killing, and trying to watch him go through that is awesome, because of the struggle of not to kill anyone was really, really cool. It added a really good dynamic to this second season. But yeah, that's my impression on the story. I really do like it. And now let's go on to the positives and the negatives. And of course, we're always going to start with the positives, because there are so many positives with this second season. It was ridiculous. And I think the big one, and probably the most important one I have to talk about, is the villain. Slade Wilson was an absolutely amazing villain. I mean, Mal Bennett, who portrays him, does an amazing job. Like, I loved him in season 1, but in season 2, I loved him even more. He was just an amazing villain. You know, this villain who knows Oliver inside out. He knows his identity, knows his family, and he's just the perfect villain to choose for me, because he was just an amazing villain to have on the show, because he was really well developed. Because, I mean, we'd already been introduced to him a season beforehand, where we got to learn more about his character, and because of that, he was just so well developed. You understood his motivations, you understood why he wanted to go after Oliver, and to some extent, you do actually agree with him. I won't spoil why, obviously, but as you watch the season, you actually don't fully, go against what he does. You, in a way, kind of sympathize with him, and he was just an awesome villain to have. He was, really smart, a very physical threat, since he's essentially the guy who taught Oliver Queen how to fight and basically made him the Green Arrow. And when he appears, he's just amazing. Like, hats off to Mal Bennett, an amazing Deathstroke. Hopefully, the new guy that they hire for Deathstroke in the Batman solo film will be as good, because, I mean, Mal Bennett was amazing in season 2. He's just an amazing villain, even better than Malcolm Merlyn, in my opinion, and even he was a good villain, if you ask me. Then we have also just the characters as well. Like, I really felt like they improved the characters a lot more in season 2, in particular because Roy Harper, who obviously later becomes Arsenal/Red Arrow, he has a much bigger role in season 2, and I liked his plot line where essentially he gets infected with the same drug that Slade is injected with, and how that changes him, and that was awesome to watch on screen. Like, him just like beating up dudes and like punching them to 50 miles away. It was incredible. It was really, really funny. Just seeing his transformation, from the streetwise kid into, this, eventual superhero that he does become. It was just awesome to watch on screen. But it was just all the other characters as well. I thought like their character development was a lot better. I felt like Oliver was a lot more likable this season, or at least I felt Stephen Amell portrayed the character a lot better, because my big criticism with season 1, sorry, was that I've kind of felt like it took too long for Stephen Amell to get into the character of Oliver Queen, but I felt like season 2, he had such an improvement, and it was just awesome watching him on screen. I felt like he got a lot more of a grasp as to the role of Oliver Queen, and as a result, I felt like it was him as the main character of Green Arrow was a lot more convincing, and really gravitated you towards the story, because it was just a lot better. And also the action scenes are just as good as season 1. I mean, the action has always been an awesome part of Arrow, and in season 2 it's no different. It's just amazing action scenes, really, really good. I really liked that they introduced the Suicide Squad into this, because they introduced Suicide Squad, I think about during like the midpoint, or maybe like in the second half of season 2. But they introduced that, and I really liked how they incorporate that. It was really, really good to have Amanda Waller there, and the Task Force X. It was really, really good. I liked how they adapted it onto the big screen. I thought they did a very, very good job of it. And I really enjoyed it. Seeing that plotline develop, and it does actually play quite a big role in the finale as well, which was kind of good. Another surprise is actually Deadshot. He actually does appear in season 2. He was in season 1 for a bit, but he's in season 2 even more. And I really like the guy who plays him, because obviously we all know, probably most of you will know Deadshot as obviously Will Smith from Suicide Squad. But in this film, in this show, however, I really, really liked the guy who portrayed him. It's kind of got the same origin, where obviously, he has a daughter. He used to serve in the army in this version, but he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, and his wife ends up leaving him. It was just awesome. I liked having him on there. I know it's a bit of a small thing, but I really liked his character and how they developed him, and particularly him with John Diggle. I thought that was really good. How they went at odds with each other sometimes. It was really, really cool. And this was just an incredible season. There's so many positives that I really do struggle to try and fit them all into one video. It's honestly crazy. I felt like this season was just so much better than season 1. It was ridiculous. Like, if I even had one minor complaint that I had with season 2, it would only be like one little plot hole that there was in like, I think like the third to last episode of the season. That's literally it. Other than that, I couldn't really find any negatives of this second with the second season of Arrow. I really felt it was that good. It was just an amazing season. Like, this was really when Arrow was at the height of its popularity. Like, this season was amazing. Like, it really kind of did bring, you know, the superhero TV show genre into the limelight with this season because of how much of an improvement it was. And I really do think that this opened, you know, the pathway for, you know, Marvel Cinematic Universe to eventually, you know, do the same thing with Daredevil. Like, I think without Arrow season 1, season 2, I don't think we'd be having the superhero TV shows at all, because this second season was just amazing. It blew me away. And also, they introduced Barry Allen as well, aka The Flash, and Grant Gustin's amazing as him. I might do a review on The Flash of season 1 sometime in the future, but I liked how they introduced him, and it was really, really cool to see him on there and kind of see his origins. It was really awesome. And yeah, that is my pros and cons for season 2. As you can tell, a lot of pros. I really did like season 2. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I really do love this season. It was just an amazing improvement over season 1. A really, really amazing season. I really do think that Arrow is worth it, or worth the watch, just for this one season because of how awesome it was. It was really, really good. And I really did like, you know, how they set up all the characters and all the story arcs from season 1 that were left unanswered, and they got their resolution in season 2. It was just so awesome. 9.5. I really did enjoy it. Really, really good season of a great series. So that is it for my review for Arrow Season 2. Next will obviously be my review for Arrow Season 3. That will probably come out either this weekend or next week, so keep an eye out for that. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you very, very much for watching, and yeah, hope to see you again.